there gamer guys and gals, I'm Richie and welcome to IGCritic. Gathering hordes of minions to serve under your tyrannical rule is not as easy as you might imagine. In fact, in most video game circumstances, the big bad boss has his or her army custom made to order. IGCritic finally presents 7 mobs of mechanical minions.
This next test involves turrets. You remember them, right? They're the pale spherical things that are full of bullets. Oh wait, that's you in 5 seconds.
Who better to create an army of artificially intelligent homicidal robots than a giant artificially intelligent homicidal robot? Aperture Science is a research facility devoted to enhancing the human condition and progressing the betterment of humanity with rigorous testing. As the subjects advance further and further through the trials of study, they get progressively more and more dangerous. Acid pools, spike pits, intense lasers, and one of Aperture's finest achievements, the turrets. Some of these tests can be a little extreme.
This next test involves the Aperture Science aerial faceplate. It was part of an initiative to investigate how well test subjects could solve problems when they were catapulted into space. Results were highly informative. They could not.
The turrets are in essence automatic rifles on a tripod linked up to a sensor to go off when any human-shaped entities cross their line of sight. They can talk, for reasons, but it's a stretch of the imagination to really call them sentient. At least we're not meant to think they are sentient.
I'm different. Thank you. Don't like lemonade. Prometheus was punished by the gods for giving the gift of knowledge to man. He was cast into the bowels of the earth and pecked by birds. Thank you.
Turrets are programmed with subroutines to shoot you, talk about shooting you, and perform opera. They are easy enough to defeat, just portal behind them and knock them over, causing them to short circuit and burn out. It may sound easy, but pass in front of them and you'll be riddled with bullets quicker than GLaDOS can insult you.
Here come the test results. You are a horrible person. That's what it says. A horrible person. We weren't even testing for that.
Ooh, sick burn. Dr. Robotnik is widely known in the gaming community as one of the most evil mad geniuses to ever wield a spanner. He's also known as Dr. Eggman, but that's a can of worms we're not going to open here. In his early days, his machines were powered by entrapping the local wildlife inside suits of armour, which is why Sonic would destroy them all, determined to release his furry friends. Bunnies, squirrels, chickens, penguins, it's all the same for the Badniks. If it has a heartbeat and fur, then it's a battery. Later on, they just became empty and egg-shaped. I guess he finally realised that installing rechargeable batteries was just easier than laying out 100-odd rodent traps. He never teams up with other people. Machines are his only friends. He's even gone so far as to build mechanised versions of his foe, Sonic. He outfits them to operate in the harsh Arctic, scorching desert, with the ability to battle in the air, and even enhances them to breathe underwater, which every Sonic fan hates. They wield blasters, stingers, drills, lasers, claws, flamethrowers, shields, spikes, and grapples. He even gave some of them some of his stunning good looks. He has devised many nefarious machines to rip apart the zones in the name of global conquest. His robot army aids in his quest to gather the Chaos Emeralds to power his most magnanimous creation, the Death Egg. And then thanks to Sonic, the Death Omelette.
Colonel Fury.
Doom, I'll have your head for this.
I have little time for your petty threats, Colonel. Surrender your ship now, or I shall destroy it.
Dr. Doom is at the top of every hero's mega danger list, a position rightly deserved that there's hardly a superhero he hasn't ticked off in one way or another. Dr. Victor Von Doom is ruler of the country Latveria and a tyrannical, power-hungry despot. Though incredibly formidable in his own right and nefariously devious in all his schemes, even Doom has to concede that until he finally attains ultimate power and becomes omnipotent, he cannot be everywhere at once. He has both the capital and intelligence to forge his robot army, so why not? God made man in his own image, and Doom adopted this sentiment as a testament to his own self-perception. These robots form the bulk of the army for the Masters of Evil and are utilised for most of the dirty work, heavy lifting, and keeping the heroes at bay in general. Even after Doom achieves ultimate power by sealing the Odin Force and reshapes the world, he continues to populate his castle with these robots, though he does upgrade them with a little Stark tech, outfitting each of his peons with a set of Iron Man armour. This amalgamation of technology patrols the planet, hunting down any who would oppose Doom's law.
Both contestants are finally here. Tonight, folks, we've got riddles galore. But first, let me introduce my beautiful assistants.
Riddle me this. What is green? Thinks too much of himself and has enough free time to hide a ridiculously annoying amount of question mark trophies around the city. The answer? Edward E. Nigma, aka the Riddler. If there's one man with an ego inflated enough to pit his intelligence against that of the Dark Knight, then this is that man. After so many years with the Batman scouring the streets, hired thugs are hard to come by, especially when the target is the Batman himself. Then there are the biological disadvantages. Humans get distracted, hungry, tired, and never follow orders exactly how the Riddler likes it. They can also be made to talk and divulge important information he'd rather be kept secret. The Riddler is certainly smart enough to not go against his foe one-to-one, face-to-face. Using his techno-wizardry, he sets about constructing his own legion of Riddlebots for the sole purpose of maintaining his puzzles and as a physical fighting force to keep the world's greatest detective on his toes. They can only be hit by a certain person at a certain time, depending on their colour at the time of impact. Otherwise, that punch will be retaliated with a very lively shock. No matter how many companions the Batman has, the Riddler is always prepared.
Metalhead armies are pressing their attacks. Without a new weapon, my men cannot hold them off forever.
I will not be remembered as the man who lost this city to those vile creatures!
They're heavy, and they are metal. Surprisingly not so much into headbanging. Just, general mutilation. An alien race, the Metalheads are indeed minions, but only in the sense that they are at their strongest when they are unified under one leader. In Jak 2, this leader was Kor, a floating giant with mandibles and hulking arms who infiltrated his enemies' hideouts, disguised as a wise old man. In Jak 3, the position is taken over by a cybernized Errol, who harbours a great resentment of Jak and his success. Otherwise known as Hora Kwan, the Metalheads are an ancient enemy of the great and powerful Precursors. Having survived battle with these great and powerful beings, their resilience is second to none. They have thrived for many an age. They exhibit insectal traits. They find an area, and then nest, replicate, and absorb the local resources to further fuel their existence. Needless to say, they are naturally destructive. Super durable and adaptive, they can survive anywhere in any environment no matter how hazardous. They live to breed, infest as much territory as possible, and then breed again. They come in all manner of forms and sizes. Rather than being created by one individual person, the Metalheads evolve and procreate in the usual way. Much like wild animals, they are born in pods, function in packs, and are overtly territorial. Armoured animals may sound cool, but their layers, they're just gross.
We're the Bonds! We're pirates! You better watch out for us!
Before the worldwide phenomenon of the minions gripped our hearts and tickled our funny bones, there were these other minions. The resemblance is uncanny. There is an undeniable similarity. The Bond Surfbots will follow orders to the best of their ability, usually with minimal fuss and usually with dire consequences. They are cute and lovable. They don't have names, yet adopt a numerical moniker to identify themselves. Cool pseudonyms like Surfbot 1 or Surfbot 2. Not much of a threat to Mega Man on their own, they are certainly strong in numbers and excel in teamwork to operate the larger machinations constructed by Tronbon herself.
Oh, what happened this time? I can't take my eyes off you for a second, can I? Just you wait till we get back, you're in a lot of trouble. Oh no!
They pilot the Gesellschaft airship, drive the tanks, and carry out all the menial tasks the Bond family requires fulfilled. This includes digging, gathering intel, cleaning, and cooking. Look at their big eyes and clunky heads, they're just too cute! They may not be the most adept at carrying out tasks, but they always try their best. Nothing upsets a Bond bot more than upsetting their master, Tronbon. There is always a crew handy to effect a quick getaway for any Bond family in the field when things go awry. Or just every time they bump into Mega Man.
He'll see. It'll be the Bonds who have the last laugh in this game.
That's right!
Peter Parker, I introduce you to my Spider Slayer.
Great! Just don't mess up the furniture.
A plague sweeps across the city. People are puking in the streets. Feral genetic mutations are running amok, tearing the populace to shreds. What do we do? Why, build an army of vicious killer robots, of course. Set them loose on the city, and then hope it all turns out for the best. Alistair Smythe, a genius in the field of robotics and nanotechnology, is a scientist working for Oscorp just after the events of the amazing Spider-Man movie. Connor's research on cross-species has escaped the lab, and a plague is spreading across the populace, transforming people and killing them. In an attempt to protect the city from the infestation, he manufactures these robots to track down any inflicted with the disease. They are inbuilt with scanners to target those with cross-species genetics, human DNA spliced with that of an animal. In this case, that makes Spider-Man their #1 target. They come in all shapes and sizes, and as Smythe slips further and further into insanity, the robots get bigger and more aggressive. How is this protecting the city exactly? The robots he designed to contain the outbreak get reprogrammed to destroy anyone with the disease, and then just anyone really. Just add extensive property damage to the list of chargeable offences, you know, along with assault and city-wide destruction. Those were 7 mobs of mechanical minions, yet we are certain that there are loads more robot armies out there in the multiverse of video games. Can you list a few? Why not become a critic yourself and share your ideas in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like by giving a thumbs up, share with all your friends on social media, and remember to subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest video game nonsense here on IGCritic. I'm Richie, stay magic, and see you next time. Thank you for watching IGCritic. If you enjoyed viewing it as much as we did making it, then please remember to give a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. For more on video games, feel free to check out our other content here on YouTube and over on IGCritic.com.